hear me out. We're gonna make Princess Bitch worse. Actually make her evil, you know? So Sammy doesn't know what? But let's make mine, like, like, Moon Bitch evil. Let's make her actually evil, right? So, what I would do is, let's see, didn't the Archer hero party abandon him because the gift of full plating? I don't know. Spoiler warning, bitch has killed the queen! Worse. Didn't believe light, no, I don't care. I don't care about the novels. She's stupid. That doesn't make her evil. Her murking her mom doesn't make her evil. No, we need to make her hateable, because the queen is basically cotton candy. She's stupid. The queen was dumb as hell. Like, I'm sorry. The queen was stupid as hell. It's like, yes, let me take my dumbass husband and leave him in charge. Even though this is a freaking monarchy. And don't worry, the only good person in my family is my underage daughter. Hate it. Anyway, so the way I would have written, wasn't bitch killed in the light novels? I think she is, but I think she had like the soul of some evil lady or whatever. I don't care. It does not matter. We're gonna fix her. We're gonna fix her right now. We're gonna make her evil. So what I would do is I'd have her hang out with Naofumi longer. I'd have her what I would do. Her soul's alive, but nobody cares. Anyway, so we're gonna fix Moon Bitch, right? Yes, I'm calling her that. Number one, I'd make it so she stays with Naofumi longer. Like, the entire first season, actually. She'd be with him for the entire first season, feeding him false information about the other heroes, and having that them being together is actually a lie, that they're weaker together. I'd literally have it that she literally lies about that. You know? In fact, she basically would hint that, like, the small one deserved to be rescued. We're not talking about her. Anyway. So, I'd have, like, that, where, first of all, she spends the entire first season as Naofumi's companion. And then, like, what I would do is halfway through season 1, you know what I would do to make her super evil, other than her just hilariously slowly gaslighting him over the course of the season? Halfway through, or like maybe even like near the end of season 1, she puts a slave brand on him. Because they love slavery in that stupid series so much. Because that's something that they considered doing in the series. The queen considered enslaving him, but didn't because the author wasn't into that kink, I guess. I would actually make it so the princess enslaves him after gaslighting him and not telling him what the slave brand is, because he doesn't even know what that is. That she actually does that on her own. She gaslights him into putting this thing on here. Like, it's basically, she'll probably just tell him it's some type of enhancement seal or whatever, you know, to be able to help him, like, get more XP or some shit, you know? And it turned out to be a slave brand. And she basically just uses him as her personal thug for the rest of the season. So for half of season 2, she basically uses him to basically enact violence upon other people. Like, we're gonna make her evil. This is make her being evil. You know, and then, but because the way they put slave brands on people that they can't resist, he has no choice but to be seen as the guy enacting violence, and she's not even around. So, you know, and she'll literally just make it so he can't even, like, talk back or explain his situation. So everyone thinks the shield hero is a violent psychopath, beating people to death with a shield or whatever. You know? And all the meanwhile, the darkness is growing inside of him, you know? Because he's literally powerless in a situation where he's forced to do things against his will by a psychotic bitch who's literally using his body, you know? Using his body for her own purposes, and not in a creepy sexual way, because that's low-based as hell and talentless, you know? The other heroes are like, what are you even doing, dude? You know, what is wrong with you? And he can't say it. So they just think he's just, they don't, and the thing is, they don't know about slave brands either. Because she made sure that none of them are told. Because, I'm sorry, I wanted to be that she was going to be the queen. That, you know, and you know, it'd be even better, what she even does because her dad's an idiot. Princess bitch literally uses like the shield hero to kill her dad. He does him some good old-fashioned regicide. And he is just mortified that, you know, like, and this is even before the calamity is even there. This is even before that becomes a thing. She knows it's coming, but she has a plan. Because she plans to basically use him to get a better servant. She's like, just go in, we'll be slandering shield hero again, or are we trying to fix it? No, the thing is, what we are doing is we're not gonna, because the thing is, what we're going to do is we're gonna make him an actual hero, not a fucking edgelord, okay? We're not gonna make him an edgelord. We're gonna make him stronger than that. So what's gonna happen, right, is he's gonna go through all this. But what is gonna happen is he's going to meet somebody, you know, like, but yeah, we're so he's basically forced to be the muscle of the princess, right? And he is, we're giving him, no, he still just has his regular shield. I'm just gonna make it that he can't attack with weapons, but he can still bash shit with his shield up, yo. Like, that's stupid that the author literally wanted to make him so weird. But he still has this darkness growing inside of him. But it's slow because, guess what? Naofumi is actually not a terrible person deep down. Despite with how the author wrote him. He's actually not a terrible person. He basically has the shield is going to be is actually a part of his motif, where he is actually mentally stronger than people think he is. So despite him being horribly enslaved and doing violence against his will, he doesn't break down, you know? And okay, that's great. So what happens is about halfway through this, she sends him on another mission to enact violence upon one of her petty enemies. You know, because, she is actively trying to ruin this man. You know? And so, she sends him off to do some other violence, but he actually finally meets some magic user who knows what's going on. Like, they know, let's see, it also could be because he's doing, war crimes. He unlocks the shield of darkness, and something basically curses his shield, but it's more of a plot reason to exist. Yeah, no, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that because that freaking cursed shit is stupid. I gotta fix that, so I'm gonna fix that later. Anyway, did the writer forget that the weapon shield is a weapon on a shield? Like, it's stupid. I'm gonna literally make that he's just made a bashing damage. He's basically just bashing damage. Because you can still kill people with a shield. I don't know why the author just decided that to depower him in the weirdest way possible. So, he basically, what happens? Because I also want to make it so he doesn't even escape on his own. No, we're not to that part of his development yet. But basically, I want him to actually meet someone who knows what's going on. They see that every single time he's compelled to do something, the brand shows. You know, they have the ability to see it. You know, because they were horribly, you know, oh god, I hate this. Anyway, but they were horribly enslushed at some point. And so, since he's not near the princess at this point, they help break the seal for him, and he's finally free. You know? And they're like, and at first he's like, the first thing he wants to do is go back and get some delicious vengeance. And he's like, no, and the person's like, no, do not. Like, you don't, like, no, it's not a good idea. Like, your best bet is to recover first, you know? So that's what that's what it redeems for like 10 minutes or whatever. Good night. Okay, bye. So, but yeah, so again, this is like just kind of some rough, you know, some rough reimagining here. So he's finally free, but and yes, the first thing he wants to do is violence, but then he's like, you know, the person's like, wait, you know, like, you don't want to do that. You know, yes, I was able to get it off of you, but since she's technically your OG master, she'll probably be able to get it right back on you somehow. So you don't want to deal with that right now. You know, what you should probably do, because I'm like, it's pretty obvious that you're not from like around here, judging by that gigantic honking piece of metal on your arm. You know, you should probably get somewhere far away from her first. You know. The writer also didn't seem to know MMOs since 3 other heroes who play MMOs think the shield class is weak and useless because anyone who plays MMOs knows that the tanks are always vital. Exactly. And what I actually want to do is actually, and he doesn't, and because of all the gaslighting, he doesn't really trust this person. But they did free him from, you know, magical slavery. And so he basically, for now, he doesn't trust them fully, you know, but he's like, okay, but at least they freed me. No, not the old bother. The leather-bound wooden shield from Scotland, which can have a large spike on it. But yeah. And this, again, is before the whole calamity thing, because I don't want that to, because that bogs things down when it first shows up. Like, the reason he's staying away from the other heroes is not because he gets weaker or less XP. It's literally because he was gaslit so badly, and they've been gaslit, that they stay away from each other. You know? And she actually makes it so she gaslit everybody individually, because she has, like, minions that, you know, listen to her. And I would literally, like, just make it so her mom is already not, is just not in the picture, because her mom was weird. What happens, though, is that her mom, she already got rid of her mom earlier. Her mom's been dead for a while. Only her dad is left. And so, dad's dead because of him. So right now, she is queen. She still has her little sister, but I'm gonna make her sister this, like, instead of her being a literal fucking child, her sister is actually also, like, a year younger than her, and he finds out that the wizard guy was actually sent by the sister who knows what's up. You know? So he's, like, suspicious, being like, I don't trust you, not because you be woman, but because, you know, you're from this world. You know? But she basically tells him, look, I know, like, even though, yes, my dad's dead, I know that it's not because you wanted to, because you had the slave brand. I know what that is. You know? It's illegal to even use seals this way, but my sister used it because, like, she's, like, you know, the crown princess. No one's gonna fight her on it. And now the only one that could probably stop her is now dead, which is their father, you know? She's like, I need you to, like, help me win the other hero, like, get back the approval of the other heroes, because they're all basically fighting each other. So, because there's something way worse on the horizon, you know? Like, bam, there you go. Like, he could still be an angry butthole, but, like, and be justified, but there's a plot there, which is basically save the other heroes from being gaslit so they can all work together to deal with the first wave of the calamity. Bam! There you go! But no, the freaking author just wants him to rage boner everywhere. Like, ugh. Like, in my opinion, obviously, you can fix it in any way you want, but in my opinion, that's how I would fix it. No offense, but, like, the whole thing about, like, the slavery just being a fun thing that Naofumi can just do at any time, I would make it not a thing. That slavery is bad, yo. Like, and she says that bad at writing. I am bad at writing. But, like, oops. But that's what I would basically do for a story like that. And then basically have Naofumi basically deal with the constant trauma of being forced to do violence against his will, wanting revenge, but also realizing that even if he got revenge, would that even help? Because again, there's a bigger issue on the horizon. Like, basically him trying to, like, concentrate on winning the trust of the other heroes makes more sense than him just going up to Princess Bitch and being like, ah, yes, now your name is Bitch now, or some petty crap, because, you know, people are gonna die. And then I'd also make it that people aren't treating him like trash, they're just scared of him. Because I'm sorry, like, the fact that everyone, like, knows this guy's a summoned hero, but they just spit on him or whatever is kind of stupid. Literally just make it that when people see him, because they see the shield, because he can't take it off, like, people are scared of him. People run away from him, you know? People bring their kids inside when he comes by, you know? Like, him having to deal with that, I think, is more appropriate than people are just mean to him because he's my thing is, like, I'm sorry, but everyone's just like, oh, we're gonna be mean to you because you tried to R-word our princess. Like, it's not even taken seriously it's not even taken seriously in the prospect of the story. Like, It's not. It's literally just treated as the, oh, because we know she's lying. It's like everyone else kind of does too, even though they don't. And technically the only one who really cared was the shield guy because he's gross. It's weird. But anyway. But in my opinion, that would be a way more interesting story. And that way it's not just full of who is Naofumi gonna groom next? You know? I would literally just make it that the person that Raphtalia actually is just the servant of the other princess. You know, who's an adult, by the way. Who's just younger than her sister. Her sister's probably like, I don't know, we'll make her sister like 25 and she'll be like 22. You know? One thing I find really stupid of the Rising of the Shield Hero is that they can't take off their items, making the change shape to something more portable. Like, what I would probably do is make it though it basically just turns into like a it probably just turns into a very visible tattoo when they're not using it. That would make the most sense. But the thing is, it's not the like I would probably make it so like by this point his face is more memorable anyway. So if you're not using your weapon, it turns into a tattoo, so you could always just summon it, you know? But like people would know his face by now. Like he's like the guy with the bean mug, you know, who looks like he just wants to kill everybody. So when does the shield hero fly a dragon to get never. Anyway. Like but like it's one of those things where like, you know, it's all about like if his main like, and the thing is I still like the idea of him dealing with his more negative emotions because again he was forced into a horrible situation and he gets that PTSD too. He doesn't get to just, you know, be fine. You know, he gets some delicious PTSD, you know, and then parts of him will also wonder how much of that was him being ordered and how much of that was him starting to enjoy it after a while. Like all that, you could definitely have all that too. Was like, cause like I could definitely see him taking out his anger on people unnecessarily because he has no choice. But maybe he goes a little bit more brutal than he should because what else can he do? And he's under a curse. It's not his fault. Like there's so many things like he could do to just develop Naofumi's character without other characters needing to be stupid. Like, give the guy some credit, come on. But no, we just want him to be an angry piss baby. Like, why? Like, that would be, at least in my opinion, way more interesting of him kind of grappling with himself before we even get to the other characters. You know, not him winning a freaking fat chocobo from my egg for, like, no reason. You know? Like, oh, that actually would be cool, a duality, whether it was always the crest or did he start enjoying hurting people? Exactly. You know, him wondering, was something this disgusting and this dark inside of me all along? And so when the cursed stuff starts happening, he basically has to start basically making a choice, you know, because what's going to happen is once he's released, you think Princess Bitch is going to let him go? No, of course not. She's going to send people specifically to torment him, you know, to basically to drag him back. And when she sees that he unlocks, like when he's just especially frustrated, when he's dealing with one of her cronies or whatever, you know, and she actually is like in the shadows, whatever, watching what's happening. And she sees, oh my God, he's unlocked the legendary cursed, you know, shield. She's going to push that. She's going to push that to see if because if he's basically gone crazy with rage or whatever, he's not concentrating. She can get him enslaved again, and he'd be even more valuable as basically a guy that just goes berserk, you know, like that. And so that would explain why she would even still want him, even if he unlocked the curse thing, because if she basically, because again, he can't control his body when he's like has the slave brand on him. So like, she can literally still control him even if he can't control himself, which is terrifying, you know? So that's why she'd still even want him after that. She's like, I could use him for so many war crimes, you know? Like, and she's also trying to get the other heroes as well, because her goal is to get all of the heroes under her, like basically enslaved, you know? And like, Like, that would be so much cooler. And then also just have emissaries from other countries basically being like, okay, we can't let this psycho bitch like have this much power. She's going to use them for military force. We gotta do something. Let's see. There we go. Like shield hero being something like a gauntlet or a chest plate or in the spear sword into a dang dagger. Like, I kind of like the idea of it being like a summon tattoo just because it makes a little bit more sense. And it also can kind of designate who is who if they're like in the bath or something. But like, and actually just kind of have that the princess herself isn't always there, but the one she kind of keeps as like someone to keep tabs on him is Raftalia, who's an adult. She's never a child. She's just not a flippin' child. I do not like the fact that they just took a child, an enslaved child, and then aged her up so people don't feel weird sexualizing her. But I would literally make it that she's just a servant, not a slave, of the princess who does not like to enslave people, you know? And she's basically just kind of there to kind of help guide him and help him with his trauma. That she, and the thing is, Raftalia, instead of being a fucking blade user or whatever, she would basically be like, right now, he doesn't have anybody offensive in his group yet. I don't want him to have one. He would basically still, and he does still get XP from killing people. He got a lot from killing the king, actually, you know? That's awful. But I would literally just make it so that Raftalia is actually just a healer. That's what she does. And the fact that he doesn't technically need, and he doesn't even really need her, but he kind of does. Like, he still gets, like, damaged or whatever, you know? But she can help him with that. I want her to do something that he can't really do anything with, you know? So, in my opinion, her being a healer, number one, makes more frickin' sense than her basically being his personal fighter because he forced her into it, you know? She's like, you know, she's a frickin' court lady. We're not doing that. You know? I agree, was just getting creative outside of the tattoo aspect. No, that's fine. Like, anything that's just small enough so it doesn't, like, cause any issues, you know? But yeah, Raftalia is like, and that would be why Raftalia is around. She's there to keep tabs on him because the princess can't be around the entire time. She's got official business to do, and also is trying to seem really, really passive around her sister because her sister's already shown she's perfectly fine killing their parents, and she's just trying to stay out of sight. Her sister thinks she's too incompetent to really do anything against her, and she lets her believe it. She doesn't go chasing Naofumi into the woods like an asshole, you know? I do feel like if she stayed as a small child, but being the powerhouse of the team would have added a comedic effect if the crush thing gets removed. It's something I think would help, but I'm all for her being a serious comedic of the show. Like, I'm personally fine with that too, but I don't want her to be the powerhouse because I want someone else to do that, because I want them to build up to needing one. Because right now, technically, Naofumi is able to take care of himself. In fact, in the show itself, he's always been able to take care of himself. It's just the show keeps nerfing him in the weirdest ways possible, that he can't do damage for some reason, even though he can. It just takes a long time. I'm just gonna make it so he can just still do damage, and he still gets XP on his own. Raftalia is there for a completely different reason. You know? You fool. Yes, Philo is going to be the powerhouse, but she's gonna still be a giant chicken. I want Philo to stay a giant chicken. But what's gonna happen is, speaking of Philo, can we just keep her? Yeah, we're gonna keep her a bird. What's gonna happen is, while they're traveling around gaining XP, trying to find the other heroes, because what they're doing is they're looking for the other heroes. And what happens is they literally just meet Philo in the wild. She's not a weird slave MacGuffin. Like, I hate that so much. But yeah, so no, she is not a slave MacGuffin. Philo in this fanfic I'm making, I guess. Philo is actually currently she's not, I'm not gonna make her a fucking bird queen because that entire concept was weird, but she is a gigantic fighting chicken. And what happens is they meet her when they come into her territory. She's actually just hilariously territorial, and what happens is she just doesn't expect Naofumi to be as strong as he is because of his shield powers, you know? You could be a powerhouse, but if you're afraid to use it, I do remember that there are shields that can also be weapons, like a hidden dagger. No, I only want him to just be bashing damage. We are not going to give him anything offensive. He is bashing damage only. There's going to be a reason for this. So, because again, like, we're making it so he has to fit in with the other heroes. No, because the thing is, that whole, like, secret, like, offensive bullshit is literally just so they could justify him not being with the other heroes. I had no idea Shield Hero had you feeling this way, but I love it because it's showing your storyteller side. It's impressive. This is like the only talent I have. But like what I would actually do is, again, I want their main damage DPS, their damage dealer, to be this giant psycho chicken. So what's gonna happen is they meet Philo. And because Naofumi still doesn't know everything about the world, Raphtalia is the one that tells him that, you know, she's a, whatever the fuck she's supposed to be, a giant. She's basically like a type of forest guardian. Normally if you see one of these, they're gonna kill you because they're very territorial about their area. And because of how big Philo is, that basically means she's basically like, you know, champion level or some crap, whatever. She's like a little mini boss monster with how big she is, because it shows how much she's fought other monsters, that she's so big, you know. But not for me, because, you know, Philo Bird, I guess. but what actually ends up happening, because at this point now for me, unfortunately because of the whole false violence thing, is actually really strong for his level, so he's able to put down Philo hilariously quickly. Also, hey gamer, hello, welcome in. So he doesn't necessarily mean to. He takes Philo seriously because he thinks, oh god, this is a gigantic murder bird. I gotta like knock this thing out, you know, at least. And he's like, I gotta defend myself. He doesn't think that he's gonna knock her out. He thinks I gotta defend myself and the squishy healer next to me who can't do shit. So what happens is Philo charges and gets knocked out on his shield by accident, because he does not realize he's stronger than Philo at this time. And also, isn't Philo supposed to turn into a mega hyper chicken Godzilla because she's next to a queen? Can we keep that for characterization? That's something she's gonna have to earn later. I'm not gonna have that she's born a queen. That was stupid. Anyway, also Philo speak or just extremely smart. She's a smart bird, but she does not talk. Because that, number one, that is cuter, and number two, it forces Naofumi to have a bit more of a heart, because it's an animal. So it kind of helps him heal a little bit that this animal, you know, is not as bad as he thought she was. So basically, he accidentally knocks out Philo because we need some levity. After all this, we need some levity. And like Raphtalia is very much shocked by this entire development. She wasn't born a queen. She beat up the previous. Yeah, no, we're not gonna let her be queen that easily. Like, yeah, she was born. She was basically born a rare type, because she's not supposed to have a human form that early. So Philo was born special. I'm not letting her have that. I want her to earn her queen thing, but she's not gonna get a stupid hairdoodle. She's gonna get something else. Anyway. So, but Philo gets knocked out. And they, instead of like eating her, like, first Naofumi is like, let's eat it. And like, Raphtalia is like, no, these are like sacred birds. We can't be doing that. We can't be eating a sacred bird. And he's like, big chicken. But she's like, no, please, no, we'll be cursed by the gods or whatever. And he's like, okay, fine. Because he's starting to warm up to Raphtalia by this point. He's still a bit jaded because, you know, Raphtalia is a girl. But she convinces him not to eat the sacred bird. You know, because I think, like, even if they're not considered sacred, I'm gonna say that they are in this version, because it makes more sense. Anyway. I'm confused when you mentioned that. Oh. So, anyway. Let's see. So, basically, Philo wakes up, and she thinks she's being eaten because she sees the fire. And like basically Raptalia is like the mediator here, and is just like, no, it's fine, it's okay. We, you know, see, you're fine. Look, you know, she's like, she's like, see, your head doesn't even hurt. And much to like Naofumi's surprise, like this bird realizes its head doesn't hurt without having to look at it, you know, which he thinks is weird because he has never seen a sacred bird before. We're going to change their name to sacred birds instead of philo bird. Anyway. So basically, so he basically is like, because he thinks at this point that like Philo's a giant stupid bird, you know. So, which, you know, Raftalia's like, you know, like they are said to be pretty intelligent, but she's never actually seen one up close because usually they're a little deadly. And so at this point, like, Philo's just kind of looking at them suspiciously, like, what are you guys doing in my area? You know? And Naofumi, not really thinking about it, is just like, are you hungry? Like, what do they eat anyway? Birdseed? She's like, no, they're carnivores. He's like, oh. He's like, here. Like, he offers like a toasted mushroom or some shit because he can't hunt any meat. I just imagine he just becomes like a vegetarian by accident and he kind of hates it. But like, and yes, we're giving Naofumi secret cooking skills because it would be funny. Don't change, some can still, what are you talking about? Guys, stop fighting about the whole bird thing. Philo isn't talking, so stop ranting about the bird. Milky, be good. Anyway, not all birds are the same. Yeah. Anyway, so like, and because he offered Philo some food, Philo's like, ah, yes, you are making peace with me. So Philo's like, fine, I accept your I accept your surrender. Which Naofumi's like, why does this bird look so proud of itself? Because I think that would be a very cute exchange. That he thinks that Philo's a dumb bird, and Philo thinks that Naofumi's a dumb human. Yes, Raftalia is still a demi-human. That's why she's a servant of. That's why she's of the servant class. Because I guess we gotta have a little bit of racism. I don't know. Anyway. There we go. Yes. But yeah, but like let them have the exchange. So basically, that's how he kind of earns the trust of Philo, which doesn't have a name yet. And so they're just kind of chilling there when basically a monster shows up because it smells the delicious food, and they find out that number one, like Philo is fast as shit. Because Philo actually, like, she literally just murderizes this monster. Being like, how dare you interrupt my dinner, you bastard. And she just literally drop kicks this thing to death. And that's when they find out, oh god, she's terrifying. And she just brings the body over being like, cook this. And like, Naofumi's like, you know what? I like you, chicken. Like, Raptalia's like, I don't know what a chicken is, but that sounds really derogatory. And so they bond over monster meat. And then so he doesn't just keep calling her chicken. He just calls her Philo because it just sounds right for no particular reason. He just calls her that. He, like, you know what? His like grandma had a bunch of chickens, and one of them was called Philo because it was like a little jackass chicken. So he names Philo after a chicken on his home farm because I changed his backstory. It was like, you take me out to dinner, I accept your surrender. That's right. Because I think I kind of like the idea of that's like their interaction of like, there's a misunderstanding here, but because Philo cannot talk, the misunderstanding is kind of what saves them. 1 second, my thing fan out. Here we go. But yeah, so that way Philo could still be this hilariously haughty chicken, you know, but there's no way to correct her about it. Because her being a haughty chicken was very funny. And say not bad for an overgrown chicken. Exactly. So And after that, she basically she respects Naofumi for, you know, knocking her out, you know, and for feeding her, and he respects her for literally destroying a monster in 2 seconds that it would take them a while to kill because he'd have to bash it to death, you know. And so can Philo be, you know, she's super smug. Like, this Philo is smug as hell because she's a warrior. She's like the top sacred bird in her area, you know. And what ends up happening, but unfortunately for Philo, when he defeats her, she's like, fuck. Ugh, well, I guess I gotta follow him around and figure out when's the best time to attack him so she could basically get her title back. No, there's no official title system. She just thinks that she has to defeat him somehow. So there'll be these random little moments where Philo is trying to attack him and he doesn't notice because he still technically has a high enough defense where she can't kill him. So... can we keep the dinosaur fight? What dinosaur fight? Was the dinosaur fight a dragon? Yeah, it's about personal honor at this point. So so that's, and like, Naofumi is like, why is this thing still following us? And so Raptalia, not understanding what's going on here, is just like, or she doesn't even though she knows about the sacred birds, she doesn't know much about the behavior. Most people actually don't. And so she's like, well, he's like, maybe she's grateful. He's like, how do you know it's a she? He's like, oh, it's because she's pink. He's like, what? Hey, Purple, hello. The fight where the noble summons a monster and with a snowflake crest on its forehead. I mean, that can still happen, but that's gonna be later. We gotta earn our fights, people. I feel like the chicken would say, you. Oh my god. So Raptalia, because again, Raptalia, what she is she is the heart of this party. She's the one who smooths things over. She's the one who kind of is the voice of reason, so that way Naofumi, you know, has room to be a flawed character. If he already knows what's right, he can't be a proper flawed character. He needs someone to kind of take that good character slack, so he can still be flawed, angry, and brooding. All right. Yeah, I just wanted to know if we keep in the fight or maybe make it season 1. We'll make that because season 1's already over. We're into season 2 right now. We're in that later half of season 2. As I explained, I'm gonna go off the rails after this because I didn't read the series, but we're gonna make this work. Apparently, this is now revision of the shit. Wait, let me change the title of my stream. Revision. Shield here. Okay, 1 second. Telling a revision. Of Rise of the Shield. Alright, Shield. Hero. Wow. Thinking. There you go. So anyway, but yeah, so they basically so far you got these 3, and they're just kind of learning about each other. And the good news is with Philo there, he's like, Naofumi actually wonders because Philo is killing monsters and bringing them food or whatever because she's bringing the meat. He's like, but Naofumi's like, we're missing out on some peak XP here because this giant chicken. And like Raptalia's like, is that really the most important thing to you? He's like, yes. He's like, wait, can I add the chicken to the party? She's like, what? I mean, if she accepts. I don't know. I don't think anyone's tried to add a sacred bird to their party before. He's like, well, only one way to find out. Hey, chicken. Like, Naofumi defaults to calling Philo chicken randomly. Like, if he's being very, very curt with her, he tends to call her chicken. And the only reason Philo is not offended is because Philo does not know what a chicken is. They call their chicken something else in this world. So, Philo, like, apparently can use the menu. And he's like, party invite? He's like, to Philo. And Philo is just like, party leader? He's like, no, we're not doing that. Like, fine. Joins party. And so he joins, and so Philo joins the party, which he's like, okay, this chicken's like level is annoyingly close to mine. We can't be having this. So after that, when Philo kills something, they also get shared XP. Also, thank you very much for the chin scratches and the carrot combo. I stretched my postures somewhere and I drank some water. So all of this happens, and then at the end of the season, they find the first hero, which is the spear hero. This is the first one. After they, like, what they do is they actually find the spear hero, but this is the series finale for season 2. They find the spear hero, right? Who is not secretly a goddamn pedophile. You know, he just likes pretty ladies that are adults. But what happens is when they meet him, they see a very familiar brand. Like, they see a familiar brand on him, and he is basically attacking a village. Oh no! You know? Dun dun dun! So yeah, it goes completely off the rails story-wise here, because I don't know what happens, honestly. But, in a sense, I kind of did like the whole him cleaning up after the heroes thing, but I want to make it that this is actually, it's because the heroes are being forced to do stuff by, you know, the Psycho Nugget. You know? Because at this point, she's gonna be basically be the antagonist of the series until the calamity happens. There we go. Stop bonking me. Oh boy, girl, your eyes. Oof. But like, there we go. And guess what's missing from this? Random enslavement of random people. Because there's no reason for it. There's no reason for random enslavement. Okay. No, wait. Like, I want to make it that anytime the slave brand shows up, it's a bad thing. Like, we're not making it secretly a good thing. You know? We're not gonna have Naofumi befriend the frickin' slave market owner, none of that shit. You know? It's a bad thing. So when they're gonna fight the evil princess with ancient artifacts, I don't know what you're talking about, but that's gonna be far enough away, because again, that's basically like, she's gonna, like, that'll probably be, because what we're gonna do is, there's gonna be a lot of fat we're cutting from this thing, okay? So, like I said, the queen's already dead, so that's not even a thing. Right now, he is literally just looking for the other heroes. That's all he's doing. And so they find they find Spear Hero. And at first he's like, okay, obviously he's drunk. He thinks that he has drunk the Kool-Aid because, again, gaslighting. So Naofumi thinks that Shield guy is, well, definitely on the princess's side. That's what he thinks, you know, when he sees him attacking this village, everything's on fire and shit, you know. And it turns out, actually, no, he sees that mark and he instantly knows, oh no, he's in the same predicament I was in. Sorry, I thought somebody was calling me. Anyway. So that's basically what happens there, you know. And then season finale, they basically have to fight the shield hero. They have to basically fight the spear hero, you know, who's just, he can't do anything. He's stuck in his own head right now, you know. And they do defeat him with the combined powers of Reptalia Naofumi, who basically, Naofumi takes the tanking energy, so he basically takes all of his attacks, so Philo can actually deal enough damage to him to knock him out, but not kill him, even though Philo thinks they're gonna eat him. But they managed to keep her from straight up murking him, because they still need him for the thing that the princess told them about. And so they don't kill him. Reptalia helps get the seal off of him. And he basically, we get a flashback as to what happened, that he was, see. Oh, thank you very much, Lurk. Thank you. So we get a nice little flashback saying, okay, so what happened here? What happened? And basically, Shield Guy was not Shield Guy, but Spear Guy was betrayed by his team, the people who, you know, were crusading with him or whatever. They basically betrayed him and made it so that the brand could get onto him. But the brand is actually not held by the princess. It was held by somebody else who was there, which is basically the main person, basically a minion of the princess. And she was basically ordered to have him pull an alchemy and just go around doing delicious crime, you know? And he was very much traumatized by it, like, and then Naofumi basically says, like, yeah, that's honestly why I kept doing all that. I didn't want to, I was forced to. Apparently their magic can do that. Which, this horrifies Shield Guy so frickin' much, realizing, wait, you mean to tell me that you murdering the king was me being forced to with the slave seal? He's like, oh my god, I thought you were just a cold-hearted murderer this whole time. He's like, no! And you know, he gets healed up and everything, and he's like, you know, I know it's gonna be hard to trust me, but we have to do something. There's all this stuff she's having us doing, this isn't what we were summoned for. We were summoned here to take care of a way bigger problem. That's gonna be happening at some point. We don't even know when. So we need all four of the heroes to deal with it, you know? And he's like, wait, you mean there's actually something else? He's like, yes. So they basically, and so he's like, oh, all right. It would basically, and because I do still like a little bit of that womanizing there, he does see Raphtalia as a very cute adult woman, and he's like, you know, he sees her as his savior because, you know, he does get damaged. So he's like, he's just like, you know what? I'm definitely, he's like, wait, can I join your team? He's like, is it just to get with is it to get with her because she's taken? He's like, by who? He's like, by her employer, stop it. He's like, oh, fuck. You know? He's like, but no, seriously, thanks for saving me. You know, little levity there. So you're liking the story? Good. So he decides, you know, that he'll join Naofumi's party because he's no longer in a party. His party betrayed him on behalf of the lady. And so he basically joins the party. So then they add Spear Guy. Yes, we're going to be like slowly adding the other heroes to his party. Second. Don't forget to save. All right, time for me to unleash my mightiest box set. Okay, have fun. The scumbag, but I like one. Yes, exactly. Because they need, like, because I want it that they actually need all of these different parts. Like, Philo's a great damage dealer, but she basically is, but she's still a bird. She just attacks whatever. She doesn't know how to be precise. She's a bird. That's, again, why we do not have her talk. But we can also make it that, like, Shield Guy does think that the giant pink bird is adorable. And he's like, oh my god, what is that? And like, and then like Reptile is like, oh, she's a secret bird. Her name's Philo. He's like, oh my gosh, she's so soft. And Philo's like, what the fuck is this guy? What is he doing? Ew. You know? But he's like, why won't you let me hug you, you gigantic, fluffy, giant marshmallow people, please? You know? So he can still be obsessed with Philo, but not in the creepy way. He just likes the giant fluffy bird. She's a giant chicken. She's basically shaped like a giant murder chocobo, not a big round fluff ball. Because I do want her to be a little bit more combat incentive there. So, and again, so they start traveling together and they find out that, again, he's actually not that bad, you know? And that and the thing is, his skill is, he's a charming guy. Like, because they need somebody like this. We're gonna give Spear Guy the charisma bonus. So when they go to a city, he kind of does the talking for them because Naofumi's still infamous for murder. But he only really did the one town, and thankfully it was resolved pretty quickly. So they basically are able to kind of use the Spear Guy to basically kind of get into places they wouldn't be able to before. Also, hey there, Coco Casta, hello. Can we have it where he actually had a giant plush back home, and that's why he loves Philo's fluff? Yes, that he just because it also one thing about the characters is that none of them got homesick, which was super weird. So we can actually just make it that Philo just reminds him of home and he misses home, you know? That none of them, and we're gonna also change it so none of them freaking died, okay? That was stupid. No, they were summoned here, but they were not summoned because they died. None of them are dead, so no weird death backstories. That's weird. They all got summoned here, but they're not dead. So he's like, he wants it, because, and the other thing is he's like in college. He's like, I really want to go home, you know? And Nafumi's like, well, maybe if we solve this whole calamity thing, maybe we can all go. He's just like, I would definitely like that. I miss my mom, you know? Let's make him a sweetheart. So anyway, a dumb sweetheart. So they basically gain land. We gain Spear Guy, who has charisma. Hey there, how's it going? It's going good. I'm making a revision of Shield Hero. Truckun did not appear in this anime. No, there was no Truckun. They all got summoned as if they all get summoned alive, just like Naofumi does, but they all get summoned in different ways. So Naofumi, book. Naofumi's gonna be book. Shield Guy is gonna be a dating sim. Bow Guy is gonna be from a shooter, and then lastly we're gonna have Sword Guy from an actual MMO. He's the only one who comes from an MMO. That'll be important. So, yes, there's gonna be some stuff that just doesn't show up from the anime because I do not care. Anyway, Truckun got destroyed. Oh boy. So next, so we have them traveling as a party, as a proper party, right? Dealing with monsters, dealing with, you know, Princess Evil's goons, right? And so they basically get to the point. There we go. So they basically get to the point where they actually they start hearing rumors about a lone marauder who is like robbing people, who's like robbing the yes, we're gonna do this, who's robbing people on the side of the road. That there is some miscreant robbing people on the side of the road, stealing their money. And they're like, that's weird. And then they find out that this miscreant is actually the Bow Guy. Because I like the part of his character that kind of got forgot about hilariously is that he's, you know, for justice, but then they kind of don't know, because the author-kun did not know what freaking, yeah, I'm gonna still call her author-kun, I don't care. But because author-kun doesn't seem to know what that means, they just kind of drop it immediately. So we're just gonna put that back. So what happens is, and the thing is, there also needs to be some negative consequences to Princess Moonbitch becoming queen, where corruption is more prominent. So the rich are getting richer, they're taxing people more, they're being insufferable, you know? This is one of the consequences of her currently being queen, you know? And there's also rumors that the second princess, or her sister, basically disappeared. So what actually happened is her sister kind of started seeing people talking about how bad she is and thinking they're gonna probably try to replace her with her sister, tried to kill her, but her sister escaped. So thankfully she escaped. Anyway, but they find this out about that, and they get the description and they see, oh my god, you know, it's Boku. Like, Bo Burnham over there is robbing people. And so they go looking for him. There we go. Yes. So they go looking for Bo Burnham over there. And what ends up happening, again, this is going to be different from the anime because I kind of get a little foggy of how the story goes after this. So what ends up happening is they're trying to find him, but what ends up happening is they actually run into the quote-unquote royal guard first. They basically run into the people hunting down Bo Burnham, you know, because they're like, if we drag him in like alive, not only we're gonna get so much money. So they're trying to find Bo Burnham, and he's like, but they can't find him. And while they're looking for him and seeing what's going on, they notice that what actually happens is he's being hidden by the townsfolk. You know, they're actually like, you know, they kind of like are spying and seeing what's going on. And they actually see that the small little town was actually hiding him. And they see that he like gives them money and, you know, does the freaking tuxedo mask salute and runs off into the mountains or some shit. But he's by himself, which is kind of weird. They didn't, because he also had like an entourage of people, you know? They couldn't find him because they're looking outside. He's actually inside. I can't. We get Robin. Yes, we turn him into Robin Hood. Yes, he gets the tuxedo mask. So yes, because I'm sorry, like there was so much they missed with that guy. So he runs off, but he, unlike with the spirit guy, he has one accomplice, which is like the martial arts girl. That's the only person who stayed by his side. When they, because what happens is they tried to get the seal on him, but she stopped them, and they both managed to escape. But that's when he figured out, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but we got to figure out something. And then he saw the misjustice going on with several people in the countryside basically being taxed to death. Like, they have like no money, and when they ran out of money, the kingdom is actually literally taking their crops. It's literally forcing them to give their livelihood. It's not even just money at this point. They're literally coming in being like, yes, you've farmed this much wheat, we're gonna take all of it. They're like, but if you take all of our wheat, we'll have nothing to eat for the winter. He's like, we don't care. This is what the queen's ordered. He's like, you're not doing treason, are you, old man? And that's basically what got Bo Burnham over there to help, because he's like, okay, no, this is ridiculous. They're not even leaving. This isn't even taxes. They're robbing these people, you know? So he's just running around and like sniping people to scare them off. But he actually hasn't really but that's basically the most he's done. He is also currently the lowest level of all of the 4 heroes because he just doesn't want to kill anything. He's scared to kill anything, even like monsters. He's scared to do that because him being a little bit of a coward is fine. Because his signature color was either green or no, it was like yellow. His signature color was yellow, so we're gonna give him a little bit of cowardly characteristics. He's technically been relying a little bit too much on martial arts girl to do the dirty work, but he still feels kind of emasculated though. But he's not gonna tell her that because she likes being abused. Anyway, so they but then what ends up happening is while they're in town, because right now these officials aren't looking for them. They're literally looking for Bo Burnham. So they don't realize that the group that's also in the tavern is also a group of interest. They don't know that. So a pacifist who chose to use a non-violent solutions, exactly. So when he fires his bow, he never shoots to kill. He only shoots basically to injure or to warn. So he'll shoot past people and stuff like that. But he just doesn't want to kill anybody. Even though it's something that he sadly is going to have to do for great justice. For great justice, that's going to be something he is going to have to do because when the calamity comes, he's going to have to kill things. He's going to have to kill stuff because they're trying to kill him. Go eat for free. Anyway, so yes. Anyway, non-violence until kill his dog. Oh Lord. So what ends up happening is they basically manage to overhear the plan of the guards, right? They're like, we got an anonymous tip, we got an anonymous tip of where he's gonna be, or not the anonymous tip. We're gonna set up a trap for him. We're gonna basically look like a bunch of nobles, and we're gonna basically, get him to try and rob us or whatever, and then we will strike, Like, we have to capture him alive, but that doesn't mean, he's like, but, you can live through a lot. So they basically plan on beating him to an inch of his life. that is most certainly their plan. Because of all the trouble and money he cost them, helping the poor and all that. Ew. So, like how dare he help the poor? He's like, because of him, I'm back 3 whole half wages or some shit. Anyway, so, and they hear this plan, and they're like, okay, he's doing a good thing here. We can't let them do it. You know, Naomi's like, I don't know, but like but the shield, like, sorry, the spirit guy's like, look, he's trying, like, look, I know you never got to know him, but I did, and he's actually not that bad. A little idealistic, a little soft, but he's not that bad. He's like, they're probably gonna try and kill him, despite what they're saying. Like, I know, like, they said they need us, but he's like, but I don't want anyone, like, you don't want anyone else to go through what we went through, right? And he's just like, what do you mean we? You went through this for like, what, a day? He's just like, yeah. And it was awful. You went through this way longer than me. And look at you. He's like, ugh. But he's like, but I don't want anyone else to go through that. And so they decide they're going to help. Here we go. $5. I got high five. That's all they get. So they decide that they're going to help Bo Burnham. Yes, I'm going to be calling him Bo Burnham for the rest of the stream. You know, we're gonna get some nicknames here. So we got Bo Burnham, Discount Lancer, and Alchemy. There you go. Bit of a jackass, but he's got a point. Yes. So he and so because I also want like the basically Discount Lancer to like, along with Raphtalia, to basically be like one of the nicer sides, so that way, you know, it kind of, she's not just her doing it. I was like, hey there, hello, how are you doing, Sarah? How you doing? Lurky, thank you. It's like, burn him, Bo. Don't worry, we're gonna get to Sword Guy later. He's gonna be like the most hard to deal with. So there we go. Yes. So anyway, so we get to, so they're like, okay, so they're like, they don't know where his hideout is. Like, they haven't been able to find it. So what they do is they basically follow, what they do is they basically swap out the bird, because they, like, technically Philo is a, well, no, I'm not gonna do that, no. They're gonna, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna sneak, they're gonna leave Philo behind because she can't be stealthy worth shit. And the Spear Guy and Naofumi only are gonna basically be are gonna sneak onto the cart. They're the only ones who can do this, and this is also a good reason as to why Discount Lancer is here. Raphtalia will be in charge of keeping Philo from doing anything stupid. Because again, Philo's a bird. So they basically sneak on there, and they kind of hide out with all the luggage or whatever, you know. Kind of like just so they can kind of see what's gonna happen and help when they can. So what happens is, predictably, because we love ourselves a vigilante, but he's also very, very simple. So he comes out of there being like, halt, villains! Because he is not stealthy at all, because justice. But unbeknownst to him, the rest of the men jump out, and they're like, villains indeed, idiot, you know? And they basically attack him. There's more men than they thought there would be. So what happens is, now, like, like, Discount Lancer looks at Naofumi Bay like, you're the tank. He's like, fine. Naofumi jumps out of the cart and just starts tanking hits from the guard. And they're like, what the? It's like, and when I say tanking, it's like he's taking, like, he's taking blades, he's taking arrows, he's just like, ugh. Because he hates it. Like, let them have, like, that little bit of banter because they know each other now. You know, let them have, like, just the littlest bit of banter because it's funny. Because, like, Naofumi knows he's the tank, so he's got to get some tanking in. And when Bo Burnham first sees him, he's like, oh god, it's you. You know, because Bo Burnham still thinks Naofumi is a violent psychopath. There we go. Oops. 1 second. Okay, there we go. He's like, we'll have fun. Okay, bye. So he still thinks that Naofumi is a psychopath and basically tries to hit him. And this is when they discover, like he almost like does damage because he's like scared, even though he's like the weakest of them. Because of the type of damage he does, he almost gets Naofumi. Not enough to really do any major damage, but just enough for him to be like, wait, we can hurt each other? This is important. That this is actually when they find out that they could actually straight up harm each other. Naofumi himself is not actually invulnerable. Anyway, so he basically manages to, there we go. So so thankfully he takes everything. Like Spear Guy's like, bro, stop trying to hit me. He's like, wait, no, you turned evil too. He's like, I heard about what you did. And he's like, first of all, I was enslaved. He's like, body a sexy woman, but not in the fun way. And he's like, what? And Naofumi just hits him with a rock. Like, and he's just like, wait, I thought you couldn't use weapons. He's like, I didn't think of it as a weapon. He's like, what? He's like, whatever. Anyway, so this is after they defeated all the guards or whatever. And so they, but like, you know, Bo Burnham still doesn't quite trust them, but then like Raphtalia comes out and she's like, and she basically explains, she's like, look, I don't know. But Raphtalia comes out and she basically explains the situation, like, look, I know this is really hard to believe. She's like, but he's like, but the queen is evil. Like, she was planning on enslaving you all and basically using you to reign and to basically manage her reign of terror. And there's actually something worse on the horizon. I know it's hard to, he's like, again, I know it's hard to believe, but that's what happened. Naofumi, like, is not actually violent. Basically, she forced him to do all those things against his will. And she did the same thing to Discount Lancer here. She doesn't call him Discount Lancer, but I'm calling him that. And he really, like, you know, he does listen, but he's just like, you know, but how do I know that, you know, that you're not, like, lying? He's just like, Naofumi's like, I could have very easily have bashed you to death because you're weak as hell. And he's like, I mean, yeah. He's like, I'm pretty sure, like, if you, like, he's like, besides, you didn't, he's like, also, you didn't, I don't think even, did you even try to kill me, though? He's like, well, no, I don't want, I'm not a murderer. And he's just like, okay, look. Like, because Naofumi is still, like, the oldest, so he basically is like, okay, look. You can't just not do that. Like, this is serious. We're gonna have to deal with some really serious stuff, kid, and you can't just pacify your way through it. You know, you got a weapon, you gotta use it seriously. You can't just play Robin Hood. You know, and he's just like, I don't know about that. He's just like, well, whatever, you'll see. He's like, like that. Or Burma starts crying. But he's just like, but at this point, you're basically like, they're gonna definitely hunt you seriously after this. It's like, this is just the beginning. They, like, this was, you saw this was a trap. They're gonna probably continue to do this. He's like, you're better off getting out of this place. He's like, but he's like, look, he's like, I know you want to stay here and help the people, but it's like, you're not gonna be of any help when they capture you, you know? And he's just like, because we're also gonna make it that Bo Burnham is actually the youngest of them too, you know, straight up high schooler. So he's just like, okay, you know. He's like, but well, what am I gonna do then? He's just like, well, and then we'll have Discount Lancer show, like, basically, because he's the one with the charisma. He's like, well, join our party. He's like, my last party, like, tried to betray me. He's like, yeah, mine too. But you know what? We're definitely way better together. And I mean, we were summoned together, weren't we? Like, don't you think we should work together? He's like, you know, yeah, you're right. You know? And so they basically, he goes and gets his ally, the one martial arts girl. And because Raphtalia needs at least one support to help her out. All these weirdos around. They meet, and then they also meet Philo, the giant chicken. Shit. So they all, and so they manage to now recruit Bo Burnham and martial arts girl to the party. Oh god. So then, so the last thing that happens, you know, there's probably some filler episodes in here when they go to a lake or something, I don't know. So, but the final part, the part I really want to get to, is They can't find Sword Boy anywhere. They can't find his ass anywhere. They're looking for him. They do not know where the crap he is. But then they get an invitation from the queen. They get like, she's like, I know what you've been doing, and I know who you're looking for. She's like, I have captured the sword hero. If you want him, come and get him. Dun dun dun. So they gotta go all the way the fuck back to the capital to get the sword hero, who we are just gonna call Kirito. We're just gonna call him Kirito because he's basically Kirito. So they're gonna go back and get Kirito because they're like, look, we need him. Sword Boy just did a speed run. So they go back to the capital. So they could, because they think they've got to rescue Kirito. They think they're like, okay, we got to rescue Kirito. He's probably, if any indication, he's probably enslaved too. So they go back, and this is after like they've discovered the levels of friendship, and they learned how to cook mozzarella balls together. They're basically a family. They're being actually really cute. Like Bo Burnham and Martial Arts Girl even have some moments when they're kind of cute, and Ralph Talia's like cheering Martial Arts Girl on, being like, you know what, I think you can do it, and Discount Lancer's trying his best to get like some philo love, for that fluff, and she's just like, yeah, no, I don't even know what you're doing, bro. And then they finally get back to the capital. Is it wrong to have a dribble as a pet? No, you can. So they get back there, but they find that the capital city is strangely empty, and they're like, oh no, this is not a good sign. This is not a good sign at all. And then they are like, season finale of season 3. We got Kirito, who's on top of the fucking gate. He's on top of the gate, being like, he's like, I was waiting for you guys to show up. You take forever. So season 4. So season 4, they find out that Kirito has the fucking highest fucking level out of all of them. He has the highest level. You want it because not only, okay, the reason why he has the highest level is, number 1, he's still gaslit. Number 2, he literally he's the only one, he got gaslit into thinking this is all a game. So remember when I said back at the very, like at some point, that he's the only one who actually got isekai'd from an MMO? Well, his MMO is the one that is like virtual reality, only more realistic. He thinks this is all a game. He's dead ass convinced this is all a game, and Crazy Moon Bitch actually literally figured this out and has been gaslighting him into thinking this is all a video game and none of them are actually real people. SAO became so serious, nobody having a good time playing the game in the future, damn. But like, she literally figured out, oh, he doesn't think any of this is real. Okay, so she's literally pretending to be the princess NPC who these bad people are like, your objective is to defeat the other heroes to become you have to defeat the false heroes to become the true hero. And when you become the true hero, you get to become king. And you get to rule the kingdom. You win the ultimate objective. And he's just like, that is so cool. So he's like, I'm gonna kill all y'all solely so I could basically win this game and become king. Because he's like, I am undefeated in every game I ever played. I have to be the top person, Oh, and the revelation that no, he actually killed people would be one hell of a character arc. Because what he did, the reason that he doesn't have a party, he got them all as high as they would go, and he killed them all for their XP. because he found out he could kill his own members for XP, and he just did it. He just murked all of them because he doesn't think he's killing people. He thinks that this is just a hyper realistic game. Like, he like literally thinks that's what's going on. Would your Eldritch dragon from Terra Lawyer's brother? What? Yeah, probably. And no, the thing is, he's not a psychopath. He's literally playing a game. Don't act like y'all are nice in video games. He basically wants to be the top person in this video game. He thinks that the rest of them are just NPCs, not even players. He thinks they're all NPCs, and so he is not considering any of these people. And even better, he actually doesn't even have a slate brand on him. That's what makes it even scarier. Exactly, we all know what you do in The Sims. So, he fights them because the princess, or the queen, told him, she's like, oh, it looks like it's time for the final event. It's like, now that they're all geared up, like, they're all at max level now, and they're all coming for you. He's like, if you lose, well, then you lose, I suppose. But think of, like, but the XP, basically the XP threshold that you need in order to win is you have to kill all of the other false heroes. I can't play evil characters because I feel bad for being mean to characters when I can avoid it. No, I get you. Again, this is making it so this is all very important. So they're fighting like Kirito over here, who again doesn't think of any of them as people. He just straight up thinks that they're all just like fodder for him at this point. You know, that's how he's actually been able to kind of go this far, is because he legitly thinks they're all just NPCs. That's the only way he's kind of been able to deal with it, because a part of him knows he's doing something bad. A part of him knows this, but he's been kind of suppressing all of it because he's like, it's okay, I'm just in a game. It's just like any other game. I'm doing what I need to do to win this game. That's all. This is just a hyper-realistic game. The amount of food I provided to the village in Warframe says otherwise. I'm not evil, I guess? So that's basically how he's been kind of coping with it, is that he's been telling himself that he's just doing what he's supposed to play the game. Because the thing is, you find out that this is just, he escapes from reality so badly whenever, because we're gonna, you know what we're gonna do, we're gonna give him a tragic backstory. He's like the only one who has a tragic backstory. Kirito actually has a really bad home life, and the only positive feelings he has is not you know, in college, it's not at home. It's literally in this virtual world that he can escape to. That's why he just stays in there all the time and doesn't want to deal with the reality of anything, you know? So for that kid that Pantenda like wasn't just the game. And the thing is, he's not unnecessarily cruel either, because he's not a bad person. He's just doing the objective because that's what he does to escape from reality, from his horrifying home situation. One of them had to have it. Because I'm like, let's make Kirito a reason why he's like this. Why is he so into this? It's because his reality is actually shit. Like, for him, he doesn't, like, if he had the choice, he wouldn't want to go home. But right now, he's just thinking it's another one of his escape from reality moments, you know? And so he's doing this, he's fighting, and because he is so hyper-focused, he does the most damage out of all of them, and he is the only one that legitly almost kills Naofumi. Naofumi is like so used to not dealing with getting direct damage that he's like, wait, what? Because when Discount Kirito comes and attacks him, his shield actually cracks. And he's like, whoa, what? No, what? No. And he is just like, okay, what's happening here? Everyone's shocked at this. This is the first time that he's received, like, straight up damage. And because Kirito is so, like, into this, he's been dealing with not just Naofumi tanking his attacks, but he's also been able to engage with Discount Lancer and Bo Burnham. Bo Burnham, he's been literally using Bo Burnham's attacks to deal with Discount Lancer. He's been deflecting arrows and shit. He's being a freaking menace, you know? Because he's literally like, I want to complete this game. I want to become the king. You know, I want to win this game. It's the only thing keeping me going. I need to win this game. And he's just hyper focused, and Naofumi sees when he does his attack that this boy is not all there, but not in the same way that that he wasn't there, where he was forced out of his own body more or less. But this guy, it's something else. There's something wrong. And one second, there we go. So he's like, okay, like, so he can't really deal with Kirito the same way he dealt with everything else, you know? And he's trying to think of something, but oh, lo and behold, guess who sees just chilling up on the fucking rafter, well within view. You know who he sees? Crazy Moon bitch. She's looking down on this battle, not even trying to protect herself, being like, welcome back. And he basically loses it. He's going through all of this, fighting this guy who's definitely has some problems, being like, everything is just horrible because of her. And she has the fucking nerve to just stand up there on her little balcony, looking like she's even, you know, even where she even has a snack. She's eating a snack while she's watching them try to kill each other. Like, this is not even like, ma'am, the world is in danger and she is eating a snack. I need to deal with this point. Don't know what a tenno is, but sure. So he's like, and this basically makes him snap. He's just like, this bitch right here is why everything is so shit. You know? And at this point, all that darkness that's kind of been starting to go away, but still has been lingering, basically flares out. It's at this point that the Cursed series basically even becomes a thing. Because he's like, you know, I have to fight this guy who is in the same situation as me. I don't even know what his deal is. And you have the nerve to be up there eating snacks, you know? Oh, wait, I forgot. And so what he does is he basically, that's when and this is the first time everyone sees it. Because I kind of want to make it that he's the only one that, not the only one that can reach this, but I do want to make it that he, like, that he's kind of the only, like, he's the only one who can reach deep enough, who's kind of been screwed over enough for this to work. Also, bad story writer, my ass. This is already more compelling than the actual story. Oh, God. Well, it was probably. It's only because the original story's ass. There we go. Yes. So he's like, and he basically, he doesn't necessarily, like, at this point, he snaps, like, cursed mode turns on, and it momentarily flares so much, he is able to just knock Kirito into, like, straight up through a wall. He just knocks him straight up into a wall, and he's like, I don't care what happens, I'm gonna kill her. It could be kind of like the Darkness from the Darkness video game. It's a voice taunting him and letting him know that there's a brutal side to him out. Again, remembering how good it felt to kill him, let's stay in front of him. Hey man, that's all I know. So he's like, I don't care what happens to me, but I'm going to kill that bitch. That is literally his one thing. He basically is about to Terminator towards her. And she is still unbothered. You know, pissing him off even more. That he literally smacked her, basically the equivalent of her champion aside, and she's just like, you know? And he is just beyond pissed at this point. And so he's like, he doesn't care. He is charging at her. He's not even in like, I'm gonna fight. He's gonna be jumping on walls and just using his shield to just punch into the side of the castle to get up to her. He is gunning for it, you know? But alas, 'tis a trap! She is in his lane. She is burning his crop. She is listen to her and like level one's blood and unbothered. But the reason that she's so confident is, guess what? Mages exist in this world, and she literally has a trap laid for him. And what ends up happening is, oh, guess what? Sword Boy is pissed. He's like, what the fuck was that? Did you just bring out a cheat or something? And what ends up happening is Sword Boy chases him, knocks him out of the way just long enough, like just before the trap sets. She's not being demure. Oh god, not the new lingo. What are we doing here? So she like, so what happens is she's like, ah yes, come and get me, Shield Boy. And she's ready. She is ready. She gives the secret signal. They literally start, and he's so focused on trying to get to her, he doesn't realize what's happening. They just did not realize that Sword Boy was faster. Knocks him out of the way. Trap springs. They end up trapping Sword Boy instead. But she's like, what? And everyone else in the party is like, oh crap, we gotta get out of here. So what they do is they're like, okay, we gotta get an Alchemy out of here. We gotta get him out. So they basically, so they take, now they get everybody, they get an Alchemy and they just leave. Which Alchemy's like, doesn't know, he's like still raging, but they managed to kind of, with the combined power of like everybody and like Philo, they managed to knock him out at least, you know? They can't kill him obviously or do enough damage, but they do knock him out. Or even worse, they just fucking potion him. Like, martial arts girl knows potions. She basically makes a sleep potion, they knock him out and they get out of there. They get on Philo and they run the fuck away. I use it ironically for not a regular vocabulary. Oh, okay. So they run. But, oh no. Sword Boy has been enslaved. Oh god. He's been enslaved. He's like, she wanted to wait because he's better, but she's like, she's better when he was like drinking the Kool-Aid, but she's like, oh well. Which he's confused as to what the fuck is this? And she's like, well, you're not completely useless, so it'll be fine. Oh no! So now he has realized there's definitely something wrong here. This shouldn't be happening. What did she mean? But anyway, so the rest of them managed to escape from the kerfluffle, and Naofumi is just like, he just still sees her smug face because like he just sees that face and he's still so full of rage. He just wants to attack something. He's just like, she was right there. She was right there. Like, Raphtalia is trying to calm him down. Like Discount Lancer's trying to calm him down. Like, come on, man, it's gonna be okay. You know, he's like, no. And he like knocks like freaking like Discount Lancer into a lake, you know? And everyone's just like, oh, okay, no. And like they're backing away from him. Like freaking Bo Burnham is just like, maybe we should leave him alone for. I think he needs to be alone. And they managed to get Raphtalia away from him because she's just gonna get herself hurt. Because he's also injured, but you know what? They're gonna let him stew over there for a second. So they like, you know, he's just raging, tearing up the countryside. And like he does manage to calm down because he can't be that angry forever. And he's just like, once he finally calms down, he's just like, what even happened? What even was all that? Like what even happened? And he kind of looks at his little stat screen, because I like them still having that. So he looks at his little stat screen and he's just like, what in the world is this? And he's like, wait, do I want it there? No, I don't. Sorry, I want it to be like, right here, probably. It'll look really steep, but we'll figure it out in a little bit. All please. Okay. And anyway, so funny you mentioned always have something to keep me calm. Good for you. But yeah, so she's so they're like he finally calms down and he like oops, not what I meant to do. And so he basically investigates his stats, being like, okay, what even is this? What is this? And so he's like trying to figure that out. I wanna oh, is this a wait, is this a all one? Should be all layers, right? Yeah, it's all layers. So why is it not working for this one? Oh god. Okay. That means something stupid happened here. Okay. Hello there, Astolfo Chanvi. Welcome in, welcome in. My name is Sammy Enigma. I'm an Elder Dragon Mom Boss. Thank you so much for joining the organization. You can pick up your badge at the front desk. So anyway, so now he's trying to figure out what this whole cursed, like, MacGuffinry is about, you know, but also, like, a part of him, like, and also just kind of, like, finally decompressing and realizing, you know, he didn't even realize he could get that angry. Like, he did not even know that he could be like that. That he could be so freaking angry that he basically was just like, I'm about to murder somebody. Like, this is happening, you know? And it scared him. It scared him knowing that he had this, something like this, oh, that's why. God, I'm stupid. I was like, why is this not working? And it's because I'm dumb. Perspective ruler, jeez. My goodness. Ugh. I hate this. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? All right. Anyway. Hey, stuff. Hello, hello. Welcome in, welcome in. I'm doing a retelling of the Shield Hero because I got bored. Let's do this because I haven't really figured things out back here. Okay, much better. But yeah, so he's like trying to figure out, okay, what was that? What was that? You know, because he's never experienced anything like that before. Like, even when he was, you know, under the brand or whatever, even then it was definitely not like that. Like, it wasn't like that at all. So he's like very much like, what even was that? Let's see where we're gonna probably like that. Sorry, I'm like fighting this to figure out what I want to do here. I'm gonna keep it super simple though. Over here? Yeah. Yeah, over there sounds way better. Yes. Anyway. Hold on, your mom's messing with the door again. That sounds weird. It sounds like your mom's a rat. Anyway. No. Yes. Maybe. Wait. It'll be fine. I'll figure it out. Anyway, but the point is, oh, okay, cool. But yeah, so she's, sorry, so he's very much like, he's kind of just realizing that something really dark is basically in his body. Like, he is just realizing, okay, I don't know what that is, but that was actually terrifying. He didn't even know he was, like, he knew he hated her, but he didn't realize he hated her that much. Like, so much so that he was like, the only thing he thought in his head is, I'm gonna kill her. And that scared him, you know? Like, that entire thing legitly scared him. So he basically is, and this is the, like, and throughout him being snarky and everything, this is the, wait, that's you holding, yes, this is me holding Laura. So, Actually, I think I'm gonna put that a little further. I'm gonna put this a little further over. But like, he himself is like, he did not realize like something like that all of that was just like bubbling inside him this entire time. He had no idea. We're gonna actually put it like right there. Yes. Okay, that makes way more sense. Excuse me. Am I back? What is up with me talking about Nalphamy and OBS messing up? Why? Like, I don't know why, but every single time I talk about Shield Hero, my OBS messes up. Yeah, I'm back. Hi. You're not getting me now for me. I'm telling a good story about you for once. Stop stopping me. Damn it. Anyway. So, what's your internet service? Normally it's fine, but sometimes I think OBS just got a little overwhelmed is all. Anyway. Wait, do I have like a bunch of stuff unnecessarily open? Because usually that tends to be the cause of it. Oh shit, I do. Oh god. 1 second. I'm gonna close a couple of things here right quick. 1 second. There we go. But yeah, sometimes let me check my computer. Okay. Yeah, but I think OBS got overwhelmed because there's other stuff that was running, so I turned a lot of those things off, so that should fix it. That was funny. Wait, do I have like 2 streams now, or do I still have 1? Let me check. Nope, we're still in 1, baby! Good thing I have that thing to like keep my stream running so I don't have 2 streams. Anyway. But point is, the long story short, let me finish up this revision here. So long story short, they figure out, okay, despite everything, they're like, obviously, you know, and while they're like having the downtime, Bo Burnham actually finally reveals that, you know, he did spend some time with Kirito, and well, this is when they find out that Kirito doesn't like to talk to people. That he was always strictly business. He was very much, he's like, I'm not here to make friends, you know? He's like, and yeah, he sounds like a stereotypical loner, but there was always something sad in his eyes, and I don't know. I'm bad at this sort of thing. And he's just like, yeah, he didn't even talk, and then like Discount Lancer, he's like, yeah, he didn't even talk to me, honestly. You know? And so they decide, Naofumi is still not sure what to do, because he's still like in his own head, but he's like, but they kind of look to him because, well, at this point he's basically their leader. He's like, they're like, I don't think they're like, we probably shouldn't leave him in the hands of Crazy Moon Bitch, you know? But what do we do if he attacks us again? And he's just like, you know what? We just need a better plan. Maybe we need to find a way to draw him out here. Not go by the castle. If she can spring a trap like that, we probably shouldn't go near the castle. Yeah. But they see he's shaken up, but they're like, you know what? They let him have some space. They let him have some space. You know? Hey, Sir Dan, hello, hello. So they let Naofumi have some space to process the fact that he tried to McMurder a lady. Like, in straight up cold blood. And so they try to figure out what to do about the whole Kirito problem. Especially, like, because they just don't know that much about him. And they decide that, Discount Lancer just like, I think fighting him is out of the question. I think we just, I don't know, need to talk to him. But like, Bo Burnham's like, what if he's like, what if he got like the mark on him? What if he's enslaved now and there's no way we're gonna talk to him? Like, they're like, well, if we can get him to the point where we can get the seal off of him, maybe we could, you know, knock him out and talk to him. So they're like, wait, I have a plan. So at this point, because Naofumi is not quite up to being the leader, like Discount Lancer basically steps up. Because him being a Lancer means he's a second, and that is a very good place for him. So he's like, I have a plan. He's like, He's like, instead of fighting him straight on, we might have to be a little underhanded. So what they basically plan on doing is just... they basically plan on paralyzing him. So he can't do anything. They basically plan on paralyzing him, and guess who they're gonna get to do it? Alberto! They're basically going to, he's like, yeah, but he can, like, deflect my he can deflect my arrows and stuff. He's like, and Spear Guy's like, yeah, but I wasn't really fighting him seriously, so, like, what I'll do is I'll attract his attention, and all you gotta do is just get him somewhere really good. It'll paralyze him, and then we'll be good. He's like, yeah, but what if I kill him? He's like, you're not gonna kill him. He's like, but what if I kill him? You're not gonna kill him. Trust yourself. You said you're not a murderer, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, then you're not gonna kill him. He's like, okay. So they, I don't know if it's me, but your model hair looks more sleek. Jack, I think you just don't notice anything because you're always looking at my boobs. It's been like this for a while. Anyway. Oh, this background. I'm probably gonna do... I'm gonna do the simplest background ever. Actually, I might work on the background, like, off stream, but I at least want to get the main stuff done. Or should I do the... No. Ugh. What was that? Hello there, hello, welcome in. My name is Sam Enigma, and I was a Dragon Bomb boss. Thank you so much for joining the organization. You pick up your badge at the front desk. Wait, I have a question. I'm curious about something, actually. Let me see. I'm gonna try something. Yeah, so you're looking at my hair this time. Yeah, this time. Okay, so I have some brushes. Can I cheat? Let's see if I could cheat. Excuse me. Okay. Let's see if I could cheat. This is, I think, the biggest I can get, right? Okay. So, let's do this. And I am very curious about something. What do you mean no cheating? You can't tell me what to do. I do what I want. Oh shit. Got stuck in the booba. Anyway. But anyway. This, because I just want to know something. It'll probably look really jank at first, but that's the point. So, let's see. That looks so funny. Okay, so what if I do this? What if I do this? And just like that. I'm not gonna lie, that looks really funny. Wait. Anyway, but the point is, I'm just playing around just to kind of see what I can do here. Oh, wait, can I do this? Just have it just look like that. Is that, like, hilarious? Can I, like... Huh. That looks terrible, but it was an interesting idea. It was a very interesting idea. Like, it was a very interesting idea, but this is a bad idea. And also, yes, it is. Anyway. Sometimes you want to, sometimes it's good to experiment. Anyway. So, long story short, they concoct a plan. Now, like, and unfortunately, yes, Kirito is, like, sent to basically, because at this point, Moon Bitch is so full of her own power where she's like, you know what? She's like, now that technically he is already the strongest, she basically sends, like, Kirito to, like, to just kill the rest of the heroes. Like, no, like, and she literally makes it so he cannot hold back. That she's like, I want you to just, she's like, I order you to kill all of them. Like, the heroes, their little minions, the stupid chicken, kill all of them. She's like, because she's so, because the thing is, she's still a terrible person, and she feels that Kirito can actually handle the calamity by himself. So, she's like, you know what? I don't even need the rest. That's too much of a bother anyway. So she sends Kirito out to kill them. And like Kirito doesn't want to do this, but he's under the spell seal, so he's got to go. And it's not very hard because of I'm gonna make him OP as hell, so he knows exactly where they are. He's able to track them because he's you know, a loner who doesn't know, he's a loner who don't need no man. So so he's okay, yeah, that's fine. So he's a loner that don't need no man, and he goes forth, and let's see what's up right here, right there. Okay, thank you. And let's do like another one like right here. Yeah, right here. Yep, thank you. Yes. Anyway, can your eyes still change blue if angry? No, I changed that to a different color. What color is it? Who knows? Anyway, so he basically he's like sent, and he kind of gives up, you know. He's like, I guess this is what he's like, and he just kind of, he tries to do the same thing. I was like, you know, I'm just doing what I'm supposed to for the game. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to for the game. Like, he keeps telling himself that, but a part of him, like, but the facade has already broken. You know, the facade has already told him that, you know, something's wrong. 30, please. Thank you. It's like he knows that there's something's off. That he, like, what happened was bad. Like, he knows that now, and so he's starting to have a little bit of a crisis. At the moment, he's having a little bit of a crisis because he's just like, this is definitely not the way it's supposed to happen. This isn't supposed to happen. I'm not, like, you can't just take over my body like this. What's going on? You know? Ooh, the circle color? Hada? Also, oh. Okay, 1 second. And we'll just take you. Cute. But he's like, you know, while his body is basically moving on its own, he's like, this is not supposed to happen. Like, he's never experienced where his body is basically moving, like, on its own. He's like, this is definitely not right at all, dear Lord. You know, we're gonna just put that, like, right here. There we go. Yeah. I kind of want the sidewalk to be here, though. There we go. But, like, so he's, like, having a little mini crisis over there. So this is going to... Sorry, like, backgrounds are a pain in the ass. Okay. And then, like, so if that's the case, I kind of need to go, like, right here. Yeah, that'll be fine. Anyway, so he's very much, like, freaking out. You know, what's going on with his body? This is getting weird, man. You know? Like, this isn't the way it's supposed to be. Ah! It's like, something's wrong. And so he basically catches up to them, like, and, you know, battle ensues. You know, he's kind of like, you know, oh, thank you very much for the subscribe. Thank you. Thank you very much. So he's, like, freaking out, like, what's going on here? This isn't a part of the program, you know? But he also, because of just the way he deals with things, he just kind of shuts down and just lets his body do whatever, you know? And as a result, his body just still moves, like, at an absurd rate, but, like, it's not as fast as it could be because he's more or less just kind of given up, you know? Wish I could hold the dribble I added. And he's like, he's just kind of given up. He's just like, this is, like, my life, I guess. And he's like that, please. So he's like, he's just having a time, and one second, I'm trying to figure out how I'm designing this here. You know, so Sekirito is just, he's just not having a good day. He's just having a hard time. And what kind of, you know, and what happens is, because he kind of gives up and just lets his body do whatever, his he's not as, you know, accurate as he could be. And so what ends up happening is they do manage to tranquilize him, and he thinks that they're just gonna kill him. He thinks they're just gonna kill him. Like, he's just like, you know, he's like, maybe if that happens, then I can just start over it with a new character, you know? Because he still wants to believe that this is all, like, not real. But a part of him is like, maybe this is real. Now I'm gonna get what I deserve, you know? And so he's pessimistic as hell. And he's like, you know, here it comes. And then to his surprise, well, that doesn't happen at all. He's fine. You know, he comes to and finds out that they're kind of like, you know, they're talking about what to do with him, but they're like, you know, they get the seal off of him. It was really hard, but they managed to get the seal off of him. And he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, he's like, well, we're getting the seal off of you. And he's just like, why? He's like, so you can put another one on me? And they're like, no. And they're trying to talk to him, and he's still being a little McNugget over there, you know, being like, he's like, admit it, you just would kill me. He's like, you should, I'd probably give you a lot of XP. And they're like, no, we need you for the final thing. We don't want to, no, we're not gonna do that. And he's just like, but he felt super disposable because, you know, like crazy moon bitch just literally sent him off, you know, to make him murder people. And this is also the first time he's like actually really talked to them, and he's just like, you guys are really intricate for NPCs. And freaking Bo Burnham's like, you think you thought we were NPCs this entire time? He's like, I mean, you especially seem like an NPC. He's like, I'm not an NPC. I'm a person. He's just like, and they're just having a hard time getting to Kirito here, because Kirito is just having a time. And finally, like, you know, Nafumi's just like, look, kid, we're actually real people. And he's just like, we've always been real people. Everybody here is real. Everybody. And Kirito is just like, you've got to be joking, right? That can't be true. No. You can, no. There's no way. Right? And Nafumi, being an adult, realizes what's happening. He realizes that Kirito is about to have a mental breakdown. He sees it, because he's an adult, you know, or he's like a straight up adult. So he's just like, he sits down. He literally sits down, like, and he's just like, you know what? He sits down because, like, again, Nafumi's still the main character. So he sits down in front of Kirito, and he's just like, I know it's hard. He's like, but yeah, everybody's real here. Everybody. And like, Kirito does not want to believe this. He does not want to believe this at all. Surely he is lying. And then he like remembers basically like all the people that he's basically just kind of sacrificed until now. He remembers all the sacrificement, and he just for the first time he like fully has to acknowledge the reality of the situation. He has to straight up acknowledge it, and he doesn't want to, and he's just like, Nafumi's like, look, oh god. Because he's like, oh boy, this is gonna get messy. And he just kind of, but he decides that he's gonna still, like, everyone else kind of like backs up, like, what do we do? He's just like, you know what, just leave us alone for a little while, all right? Just leave us alone for a bit. He'll be okay, maybe. I don't know. And he just kind of lets like Kirito just have his anime scream in just like the like, no, it's like, how did they're like of him just having this mental breakdown, realizing he's a serial, like he's basically been massacring people this whole time. Excuse me. And like Naomi's just kind of sitting there deadpan, like, yep. Yep. He's just like, because Naomi realizes, because he's over the age of 25, that it's technically, thank you, but it's technically worse for Kirito, because unlike with Naomi, who for the most part has been forced to be violent, Kirito has technically been violent on his own, even if he did not recognize what he was doing. So Naomi's just imagine him just straight face being like, yep, this is happening. Yep, just soak it all in, kid. It's, yep. The rest of them are like kind of like all the way the fuck over there, like, like Philo's just like, is he food now? They're like, no, please don't eat him, please. Like, and just dealing with the fact that like Kirito's just having like a time screaming because he just has all of this anguish from all of the fucking murder that he's done this entire freaking time, and he's just not having a good time about it. Okay, wait, dinner lines for this. Like, he's just having a moment, you know, and it's just like just not having a good day. You know, just having a bad time, you know. But like, again, I like the idea of them having to deal with stuff like that, because again, if you're gonna put the stuff in there, have them deal with it, you know. And so you literally just have him just having a time, like screaming. Like, let's see. Oh wait, no, I don't stop that. But like, long story short, eventually he does like gather himself, and you know, and he's like, and Naomi's like, look, if you don't want to if you just don't want to think about it right now, that's fine, but we still got to deal with crazy moon bitch. And like Kirito's like, you know what, I'm just not gonna think about it. And that just kind of becomes their, like, basically Naofumi becomes Kirito's dad in that moment, where they just both both are like, you know, we're just not gonna think about it until they deal with it. Because, and then for the, like, it could be the, like, a bigger finale, but like for the season 5 finale or whatever, what ends up happening is they basically, with the combined power of trauma and the power of friendship, they go storm the castle, defeat the mages of Crazy Moon Bitch, and they just get rid of her. They basically just, like, execute her on behalf of her sister, who says, look, I'll give you all royal pardons or whatever, because the Reign of Terror is over. And then it basically ends with Sister Chan coming to power as an adult queen. She's not a child. And when that happens, then the to be continued, because now she has received news that the gates of calamity have opened, and that is the end of the series because they ran out of funding and we don't know when the next season is. There you go. And that is my version of Rise of the Shield here. Thank you very much for joining my TED Talk. There you go.